Can true love happen in a city corrupt like this one? It happened to me. Listen. It's begun. It's good that we found this shelter.
We will keep moving in the morning. Don't be scared. It's a solid building. There's hope monsters won't get inside.
With all due respect, those who say hope dies last don't know shit about dying. In this city, hope died 20 years ago when the military dropped the, medicine on us. You're young, so you don't remember. But this whole city, as large as it is, its structure, people, houses and parks, melted from the chemicals that were meant to save us. Lucky those who stayed inside at that time. Some people died immediately. Some mutated into monsters and are banging on our door now. Monsters like the Howler, Spitter, Banshee, or Goon have become new honorary citizens of the city. For only 3 crystals, I'll tell you the scariest true stories about them.
No, thank you.
3 crystals? Pricey.
As you like, kids. We're not leaving this place until morning anyway, so we're going to spend some hours together. A good story could help kill time.
I don't know. Maybe 2 crystals.
But for a story about a volatile?
A volatile? Are you sure?
Yes, tell the story, Grandma. But a good one, or I won't pay.
All right. I'll tell you the best one I know. But you can keep your money, 'cause this time it won't be made up. I'll tell you nothing but plain truth, not just some legend. But nothing's really free. You'll owe me a favor.
What favor?
A small one. We'll settle it. Deal?
We don't have to pay? All right, deal. Go on, Grandma.
It was just before the bombing. You were not yet born, so you don't remember. But it used to be a beautiful city, full of beautiful young people. There was a couple, almost just like you, young in love. They both worked in a school. They'd always been inseparable, but the bombing found them apart. Him on a camping trip with the children in the woods. Her under the thick roof of the school.
And she survived, and he turned into a monster, and that's how their beautiful love ended. There are plenty of such stories, Grandma.
What you've heard of, boy, are some urban legends. I want to tell you the true story, because none of the living knows this one. Unless you don't want to listen anymore.
We do want to listen. I'm sorry for my fiancé. Please, go on.
Well, she survived, but he turned into a monster after months of mutations. And on top of that, into the worst kind, a volatile.
Told ya!
Oh, hush already.
Once turned, he came back to the city and wandered from shelter to shelter every night. He did not kill the guards, nor did he attack the shelters. He'd just come as close as Uvaries let him and looked, sniffed, listened. Then he'd walk away. Hell knows what he was really doing, but it appeared as if he was looking for his beloved. Some even pitied him, but a monster is a monster. One night, they laid a trap for him near the new camp. It wasn't easy, but finally they killed him and hung his large muscular bulk on a lantern, apparently to scare off other monsters. Oh, like these one banging on our door right now. During the day, everyone would come to feast their eyes upon the dead monster. Some people spat on him, threw stones at him, or wanted to burn him. He was hanging like that for a few days, until passing by, his fiancée recognized him from the scraps of his clothes. He had this red band the engaged couples used to buy for each other before the virus. Look, I have one too.
We saw them recently, but haven't bought them yet.
When the girl realized it was his body, she immediately went to plead with the peacekeeper commander to bury him.
Bury? A monster? I thought you burned them or leave them to be devoured. But burying? Like a man? That's news to me.
I told you, no one knows my story. She tried to convince the commander, saying monsters are not some brainless zombies, but sick people, and people deserve a burial. Such has been the law for centuries. Of course, the commander did not give in, so at night, she stole the body of her beloved and buried it by herself.
Wait, by herself? She took 200 kilos of a lantern by herself?
Well, maybe not exactly by herself. They say that that night her students, whom the bombing had turned into monsters too, were helping her. Apparently, somebody saw her walk inside with the flowers and a funeral cortege of monsters carrying the massacred corpse of the volatile after her. In the morning, the guards noticed somebody had stolen the monster's body. Only one person was suspected, and one was sentenced. At court, she didn't even try to defend herself.
But she did it out of love. They couldn't possibly convict her for that.
She was convicted for disobedience and witchcraft. There could be only one sentence. To make it more humane, instead of being hanged, she was bricked up in a tower to slowly starve to death.
How human indeed.
In a tower? Like the one we're in now?
Actually, not so much like this one, as in exactly this one.
What?
In this one? Now you've really creeped me out.
A year later, they opened the cell in which they had closed her to take out her corpse and bury it. But there was no corpse. It was just her, alive. She never told anyone from where she had food and water. When they opened the door, she just walked out and disappeared. The end. So, love, my dear, is stronger than death and transition into a monster. Remember about each other, if that was to happen to you too.
A curious story, really. But are you sure it's true?
Look through the window. What do you see?
Well, not much. It's dark.
Left of this bus wreck, there's a place where nothing grows. See?
Yes, I see it.
That's the volatile's grave. Since his death, every night, someone lays a small white flower there, night after night.
Romantic.
We made a deal, right? I am old, and I'd like you to...
I'm not laying flowers on a monster's grave. No way, never.
I'd like you to bury me.
Bury? Where?
Right next to him.
I'm still not sure whether the woman was telling the truth or made all of it up. You decide for yourself. But since you listened till the end, you owe me. Share this story with some people. There's so much evil, death, and hatred in the city that we deserve at least one legend about love.